Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought that we could do a flip of May and kind of just talk about some of the things that I did during May and what my intentions are for June. I also want to shed light that I've received an abundance of subscribers over the last couple of days and weeks, and I just want to welcome you all to my channel, my little space over here, and just say that I'm glad that you found some use or some of the content that I've been sharing useful. And of course, I'm always grateful for my returning subscribers. You guys always give good advice, and I enjoy listening to your guys' feedback. So thank you for the new people who have joined, and also thank you to the returning subscribers. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this. Most of you who have been here for a while, you already know the backstory behind this. I won't go over that backstory again because I know that's kind of like repeated information, and a lot of you don't really care to hear the backstory again and again. But if you're wondering, there is a video up where I talk about this specifically and why I moved into this. So I've made this my, I don't know, I've turned this into like the one and only, like the thing that you carry around when you're in high school. Like everyone had a book or a binder in high school that they stuffed everything into, notebooks that they just doodled on. This is kind of like that for me. So as you can see, there's mismatch patches. Well, they're kind of matchy, but for the most part, they're not in the best places besides this one. So yeah, it's kind of been that kind of binder notebook for me. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what I'm doing, or what I have done rather. So I found it useful to add a couple of things that I found myself using a whole lot. Like I found myself using these page flags to mark certain pages or add certain things. I found myself using these translucent sticky notes to be, again, page flags, so that I could write more information. I don't ever go over like deco stuff, things like that, but for the most part I have a lot of useful stuff in here that if you care to know, it's just some stamps and stuff. Those are useful to me. I really want to show you guys my book log, but it's a work in progress. I have not been as active in this book log as I want to, or as I would like to be rather. I've read a bunch of books. My goal is 100 books this year. So far I'm at like 27, 28, because I jump between audiobooks, and then I read some books on my Kindle, and then I go to Barnes and Noble a lot and I buy a bunch of books, and then I try to keep up with this. But realistically, I don't know. I'm quite a few books behind schedule, if I'm being honest, but who knows. But I do want to show you guys my book log eventually, just as soon as I'm done updating some of the stuff, because as most of you know anyway, I was using something else completely different to kind of track all that stuff, and decided that when I moved into this, I wanted to have a centralized location specifically for that. So that I wanted to share, because it is kind of somewhat a part of May, because every month I read new books, and also more importantly, I'm in a book club. So yeah, it's something that goes along with May. All right, so what did I do for the month of May? So for the month of May, I ended up making some more, I won't take them out because it's a whole thing, but I ended up making some more AM and PM routines. Basically, so when I was back in my home state, basically I had a routine specifically dedicated to just me and my son. And then my husband came back from deployment, and then we moved to a temporary location that we're only here for 6 months. And so I kind of needed another routine to kind of get in the swing of. And so I kind of just mapped out a routine that works best for us right now for a temporary stay. So I did that for the month of May. And then if I can jump to May's monthly. So this is what May monthly looks like. Not too chaotic, but as you can see, like there is a bunch of stuff that went on in here. I basically used this planner to its fullest potential, and I have loved it. I have thought about using a different planner, but it reels me back in with this because it's something that I created, one, and two, it's very flexible. So I think that is primarily my biggest concern. It's just I would like things to be flexible. Okay, so let's jump to May's first week. So I have kind of somewhat ditched daily planning, but I recognize that I still need some form of a daily log. This helps because sometimes I have days where there are a lot of things on my to-do list, or a lot of things that I would like to accomplish in a day, and like the weekly format that I have here just does not cut that. I also know that I don't need a whole lot of space for a daily log because first of all, I'm a stay-at-home wife, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and although my 2 almost 3-year-old is very, very busy, it doesn't leave me room to do much of anything else that doesn't revolve around taking care of my son. And so my days are kind of short, and they have to be kind of short because there's not a lot of wiggle room around, parenting right now. And since we only have one car, so there's really not a whole lot that I can do in a given day or go in a given day. So I don't technically need a daily log. So I found this year, especially for May, that a weekly log was more beneficial to me. And so for May, I decided that I wanted to keep with a weekly log, kind of what I was doing in my Sweet Freckle designs. And I would just put one side being my main events and tasks, and then another side being like my reminders or like recurring events, things that happen every week, just to be like a general reminder. And then, like I said, this side was my main events and tasks, and I would just kind of not have a color code per se, but just kind of color code them according to their importance to me. I also got into using, so like I had never used I've never done the Alistair method. So I did joke and say that, well, if this is part of the Alistair method, I guess that's what I'm doing. But I found it beneficial, like habit trackers and things, to basically make a weekly task list. And then I had 3 signifiers for that task list. Basically, I standing for in progress, C for canceled, D for done, T for transferred. And these were tasks that didn't have specific dates as to when they needed to be done, but they just needed to be done within that week. And if there was something that I needed to move or I didn't get a chance to get to, then these signifiers for me was how I could indicate what I needed to move over to following weeks. And this helped so much processing information, because a lot of times when I was processing information prior to thinking about this, I was going through a lot of this and trying to figure out like, what did I check off and then trying to look at daily pages, and it just became a little confusing. So I condensed all of those bigger things into a weekly spread, and then came up with these signifiers and kind of just checked off what I did, what didn't I do, and what needs to be transferred, and so on. So if it is a part of an Alistair method, then cool. But nonetheless, it was what helped a lot for this month, and I really enjoyed it. Now, I still process my pages, and what I do basically is like I go back and I look at some of the bigger things. I like to use stickers to make some of those bigger things stand out. So like laundry days and garbage days and stuff about the car and just bigger things to me in general. Things that I have or notes that are more important, I usually put them on a sticky note or something special like a box sticker or something like that, just to draw attention to them. This helps when I'm going through and I'm trying to process the information that I've written, because as you can see, my weekly spreads look very full. So what I usually do is, if they're really, really big things, I just go through and I just look at what the signifiers are and I check them off if they've been processed, or to indicate that they've been processed and completed. Same thing. Like I said, I labeled this like a weekly task list with my signifiers: ICDT, I standing for in progress, C for canceled, D for done, T for transfer. And if I forgot, because it was so new to me, I had never done anything like this before, because it was so new to me, I would write what each signifier was over here, so that if I got confused, like what was D again, what was C, because a lot of times I was checking stuff off in the later parts of May. I was checking things off in the C section, and C stands for canceled, and in my mind it was registering as complete, but then I would go back and I would look at that task and I'd be like, I didn't do this, so what does C stand for? And so I just started writing them here to kind of help me remember what these signifiers are, because it just helped. And yeah, I kind of just use like my weekly habit tracker sticky notes. And a lot of you always ask me where I get these sticky notes from, like these functional sticky notes from. I bought them from an Etsy seller a few years ago, and that seller unfortunately is no longer on Etsy. I do not know if they changed their name or what, but I can't find that seller anymore. But it was a digital file that I purchased, and then what I did is I just have this file and I just print these sticky notes out. This year I actually took a few of them and I got them printed at Vistaprint, because I really wanted them to be in sticky note form. My printer doesn't print sticky notes, and then by us not being with our home goods, our belongings and stuff, I was not able to have access to a printer, so it was just best for me to just get them printed via Vistaprint. It was very expensive. I would say for just three, I got 3 different kinds, but it was also worth it because I got 50 sheets in each one that I got printed, and there's 52 weeks, and since this is a weekly tracker, I got majority of the year. So I would say it was expensive, but it wasn't like a bad purchase. It only becomes bad if you have multiple planners that you're trying to do the same thing in, and then yes, you're gonna run through them. But I typically only use them in the main planners that I'm in for the moment, and it works out for me. So that was that. At some point in May, I decided that, okay, I need a daily log. So this is what I mean by needing to have a daily log, but not needing a daily log that is huge or super big. Because what I find myself doing a lot, and we'll kind of just briefly touch bases in here. I will do a flip of this because I do use it. I will say that I have continued to use this. But let's just jump into April. Okay, so April, I think I did a flip of April, but if I didn't, I'll do a flip of this too. But what I find myself doing a lot most times is this situation where I tape down sticky notes. And although this is, it helps, it definitely just, it covers up information basically. And so I wanted to not do that per se for this particular planner. So I had a half year Stalogy and decided that I was going to put it to good use, and I cut that Stalogy down, and I did do that on camera to show you guys just how I cut things down. And I put enough pages in for the days of each week. So for instance, without sharing too much, like this is, what is this? July has a set that isn't, you know, quite filled out yet. So I started using these as daily pages, and it took me a while to get a format that I really liked. I was doing it this way at first and didn't really like how that turned out, so I turned it horizontally and have been doing it this way, and this way has worked a whole lot for me. So same thing that I've been doing in my daily planners across all. I've been doing like a general to-do list of things that even though I had a weekly that had specific tasks and events, some things I just wanted to see and note that I've been doing, because it was starting to feel like, did I do this today? I didn't do, you know, like it was just starting to feel like my days were not useful. Like I wasn't using my time wisely, and I didn't really have places to write day specific reminders other than a sticky note. And because I was using this primarily, this was the one I was checking most. And even though I had my Hobonichi, like I said, I was checking this most. This one has my weekly tasks and events. So I needed a place to kind of capture that, and I wanted my weeklies to be with my dailies, and I really like the Dutch door method. So I kind of incorporated that here. So I put this in here, and then I just did my usual daily stuff. So my daily running list, what we are eating for dinner, and some day specific notes. And then that's where these little flags and stuff come in, which I absolutely love, because instead of taking up space by writing on the page exactly, I could just use a flag or something, write it there. If it happens, great, I can check it off. If not, then I can just throw the flag away, which worked a whole lot for me. I'll keep it this way so we can see. And then, whoops. And this is just a flip of like my daily pages. So again, if we're in frame, these are my daily pages. Some days I use goal stickers for things I really wanted to accomplish in a given day. Reminder stickers. I hope I'm in frame. Reminder stickers. Still keeping up with dinner. General notes for each day. There was a song that I kept hearing that I really liked, and it's kind of played out now. Everybody's played out. But it was a song that I really liked, so I noted that there so I wouldn't forget to add it to Spotify. And yeah, this is basically how I used my daily pages, and this is basically what I do in my daily pages anyway. They're never really complicated. I try to keep planning as simple as possible, because I believe simplicity just helps when you have a cluttered mind. So yeah, those were my daily pages, and then I went back and I did my weekly tracker like I always do, and then whatever else I need to do, like this was a list for the store that we were, I think we were doing like a store run for stuff, and I made a list of things, and I checked off what we got, and then I processed this list. And then these sticky notes, I got them from, I think, Target, and I had brain dumped a list of things I must do, things I might do, and then some remind me laters. And yeah, I went through this, I processed it and closed it up, and then I wrote a signifier letting me know that I processed the information on this and put everything where it needs to be. That was just so I wouldn't look at this and be like, I processed it, but then I have a bunch of stuff that I moved over, so what happened with that? So this is just my little notes itself. And then again, my weekly tracking here, my weekly task tracking here, where I have signifiers for what level of progress the task is in. So whether it's complete, whether I canceled it, whether it's in progress, I canceled it, it's done, or it's being transferred to another day. And of course, tracking the weather. And then the next week, I want to say, okay, this is the second to last week of May. And again, as you can see, I use a bunch of stickers to signify things. And like I said, I used to down stickers so much because when I was looking at planners on YouTube, it just seemed like they were just sticker books. But I've actually found a lot of use in using icon stickers and box stickers and some decorative stickers too. But mostly my favorite things to use sticker wise is the icon stickers. I absolutely positively 100% love the icon stickers a lot. I like the flags, I like the boxes, I like the bigger boxes. I love the icon stickers because they just help draw attention to some of those tasks that I have a hard time remembering. So here's what it looks like up close. I don't know if my camera is picking up a whole lot from this angle, but that's what it looks like up close. And then I'm gonna flip it so that we can kind of see the daily pages. So again, these are simple daily pages. Nothing special about them. Trying to be in frame. Okay, I think I'm in frame there. Nothing super special about them. They're just like my running to-do list, some notes, and what we ate for dinner each day. And yeah, I absolutely like doing my daily pages in this horizontal format on the A6 because it gives me so much more space than doing it the other way that I was doing it when I first put these pages in. And yeah, that's what everything has looked like. And I've continued to process information by just going through pages and checking off with red check marks just to make sure that I've completed the task or done the task, or at least looked and acknowledged the task rather. And then this was a task list of things that I was trying to get done, but I didn't get most of it done, so a lot of it got moved over. And then I don't know why I didn't go back and process these tasks, but most of them from this point down, they got moved over, and I'm assuming that these ones got moved over too because I have little notes signifying that. And again, yep, because I have a bunch of them being signified there, a lot of them got moved over. I have notes and then a little checklist here just to let me know that there was something that I was working on, and looks like I got that done. And then this was the last week of June. So this week was very special because my best friend was getting married, and so she got married, and I used a bunch of butterflies and things on this spread because my best friend since high school finally tied the knot, and butterflies are one of her favorite things ever. So I used butterflies to signify her, hence she got married on the 31st. I used a big butterfly. And so yeah, I did my usual weekly tasks and events. And then for this particular week, I ended up highlighting the entire box for Monday. I want to say that I do that for this week too. So I ended up highlighting this entire box for Saturday, Sunday. You don't see that on any others, and there's a reason for that, but I ended up doing it here. And I did it here because it was a holiday weekend and my husband was off for 4 days, I want to say. Yes, he was off for 4 days because every other Friday he is out of class for the day. And then that particular weekend ran into a holiday weekend, so he was off Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I just kind of drew like a box around it to signify that it was a holiday weekend per se, and just to draw attention to it. So yeah, that's what I did there. And then turning the planner again, so we have Monday's daily page, and then what I ended up doing for Monday was creating like a priorities list. I didn't do any check marks on it, but I just processed the task that was there. And then as you can see, it's a very well loved, well used planner, because a lot of these pages have been put to great use. They've been doodled on, written on, and all that stuff. So I used quite a bit of pages for the month of May. May was such a hectic month because we were trying to get our bearings since being here, and so it's been pretty busy, but things should calm down a little bit. Not much, but they should calm down just a little bit. And then here again, I have my weekly tracker that I use. And what I found myself doing is when I didn't do something on this weekly tracker, I usually just go through it with a red to kind of just highlight it out. I've been doing that since the Happy Planner days, when I was using Happy Planner, which I have actually toyed around with the idea of getting a Happy Planner mini, because I believe it would be the same size as the B6 Stalogy. I've toyed around with getting a Happy Planner mini specifically for other things. I really like the dashboard that the Happy Planner mini has, so I really want to try that, but I'm really trying to not spend unnecessary money. I really like this, so I don't think this is going anywhere per se. But what I'm not vibing or meshing with very well is my Hobonichi. I use the daily pages because they help a lot to just have something that's smaller and easier to grab with me, especially because I can remove the book and just take the book instead of taking the whole cover and stuff. But I would love to have different parts or different sections to my planner that the Hobonichi does not have and that this planner does not have, and something also that I wouldn't have to draw and include in here, because it took me quite a while to do these spreads, and I did them for the entire year, hence why everything is already set up. But I don't want to do that for every little section that I would like to include, and so I've been looking into the Happy Planner for some stuff, so I'll let you guys know as updates happen. But nonetheless, this was May, and then here is what we're getting full here. Here's what June's intentions, or June's first week, so this is this week. This is what it looks like. It starts out bare like this, and then things fill up like this as the week goes on. But I have this this blank index card here, which I'm using for like some of the goals that I want to accomplish for this week, and then the back, you know, like if I have any notes pertaining to those goals or things like that, I can use this space for that. I've decided to continue on with my daily pages being the Dutch door style, because it really helped. So I just kind of pre-decorate and date all of these pages beforehand. And then I have this week, I have my weekly habit tracker, which I need to check off. I have a meal sheet, which I've been meal prepping, and I've been finding that to be extremely useful, like just meal prepping lunch and breakfast, because those are the ones that I struggle with the most. So I intend to plan out what we're gonna eat this week. I meal prepped oatmeal, overnight oats, for today and tomorrow, but I need to figure out lunch and dinner and stuff like that for the rest of these days, which will help a whole lot. So that's why I have like a shopping list here too, because I need to kind of go grocery shopping to kind of go around this meal plan. So that's something that I'm going to work on probably when I'm done here. And then I stuck this here because I don't have a whole lot of note space, because these two are not sticky notes. They're like the format that I was telling you, in sticky note format, but I actually had to tape them down, so that takes up the extra space that I would have had for notes. So instead I just have this extra little sheet, and if I end up using it for, you know, just weekly notes, if I surpass this and need extra space, then this is here. And I didn't tape it down or anything or hole punch it because I don't intend for the notes to be permanent factors. And then I have my weekly tracker task list here. And you'll notice that I don't have the weather tracking there because this time I included it into the daily pages, just to kind of free up a little bit of space. And yeah, that is my weekly pages. I have been using some of those back pages. So this section, I believe, is labeled my notes. And so I was taking some notes on quite a few things this month of May, stuff regarding like my child's behavior, because, you know, we've been in the fight phase for eating, and I was just trying to, you know, figure out like, you know, things about like toddler eating and what's normal, what's not normal, and some tips and tricks to, you know, get my toddler to eat more fruits and stuff. Brain dumping. I was brain dumping some YouTube video ideas for you guys. There's lots of things that I would like to share with you, but I don't always have the best format in terms of planning. So I just brain dump things as they pop into mind, like as I'm sitting and thinking about, oh, I can make a video about this. I keep a sticky notepad close, and then I just tape it here so that way the thought doesn't get lost, just in the event I don't have my planner close by, which is most of the time because I don't get the luxury to keep it close because my toddler will rip everything to shreds. This section is called ideas. Again, this is how I've been using these little translucent sticky notes. It's just like page flags. What did I say this was? Ideas. So yeah, these are just a list of like YouTube ideas that I was kind of dumping, and then this is a list of some more ideas. So I've been using the back pages. I haven't used the project pages yet, which is what these brain dump pages, or I'm sorry, these brain dump sticky notes are for. I would like to, because YouTube is like a project to me, so I would like to map out some of those here in the project section, just to kind of figure out how I want to go about filming that and what I want to share, because I would hate to just have this idea and then turn the camera on and try to share something and completely go south with what it is that I'm trying to share. So it would be best if I kind of like brainstormed it out into a general project, so that way I can kind of have like all the stuff together that it is that I'm trying to share. So yeah, that has been May, you guys. I'll probably do a flip of the, almost said Stalogy. I'll probably do a flip of the Hobonichi in another video, because I feel like this video is really, really long. But if you liked it, I appreciate it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next planning related video. Bye, loves.